you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, here in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio.
Beautiful Cincinnati. It's a suburb of Kentucky, right?
You're right. That's right. Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
On the banks of the beautiful Ohio River.
But you're staying in the river. With all the rain we're having, you know how that goes. The weather has been crazy. But, of course, for the weekend of our car show, it's going to be beautiful.
Oh, it is.
I hope so.
Yeah. Your car show is how old now?
We're going into our 42nd year here in Cincinnati.
Yeah. And I believe you sponsor a certain charity. Is that correct?
Do. Yeah, it's correct. We sponsor JA, which is the Juvenile Arthritis Foundation. And what we do is the money we raise sends children to camp. We have a JA camp that's named after the Cincinnati Concours. And every year we'll send the kids and their families to that camp.
Beautiful.
That's nice. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Is that camp in Ohio?
It is. It's just north of Cincinnati. So
Okay.
it all goes to the local charity here.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, you had a tornado close by. Is that
was
all right?
north of us in Dayton.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So it didn't
So
get south
we were
of
fine.
there. Yeah. Good. Okay. All right. So your feature is mid-century modern.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah. Can you tell what that is? We were trying to guess, and I guess 55 Chevys. You know.
Well, you know, you're pretty close. What it is it's going to be mid-century modern American style, 1948 to 1965, and that covers cars that were probably, you know, the most interesting cars probably built at the period. That was right after World War II, and when people got back from the military, they were, you know, hankering for a new car, and designs were still from the 40s, before the war. And what happened was all that technology and all that exciting materials that were brought from the war were used in styling these new cars, and we call that the mid-century period.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So can you give us a number or a range? Do you have a lot of Fords, a lot of Chevys?
Well, it's a mix of everything. It's cars from all the period from that era, you know, 48 to 65. And so what you'd have is like the 1956 Eldorado Baritz convertible, Corvette SS 1957. You'd have 1963 Advanti. Cars in that era. You know, if you've ever watched the show Mad Men, I don't know if you've had it or not. It was from those period of just, you know, the glamorous times of those eras, you know.
Oh, yeah, with all the chrome.
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the chrome.
Yeah.
Chrome and big fins, excitement.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just came out and it was exciting. And also furniture and other designs came from that period.
Right.
Which, you know, kind of brought that all into probably the greatest part of American design.
Yeah. Art Deco, I think, is what.
Well, Art Deco would probably be a little before that.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
late 20s, 30s. That was,
Yeah. And so this would, you know, cover the years of the 60s, you know, the 50s and that.
The era of good feeling.
Mark,
Yes, absolutely right.
Mark, I think we've talked about this before on the show, but that was the era of, you said the word a minute ago, excitement. I can remember, you know, you try to you go to the car dealership and hopefully get them to that brown paper over the windows, just a little peek where they pull up the corner so you could see what the new model looked like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were, you know, excited about the next model year. It always was a different style or something that was exciting. And today, cars are not that exciting. They all pretty much look the same. So we're capturing that moment in time where, you know, it just was the greatest designs America ever put out. And, you know, after the war, all that energy was bottled up. And so when all these people came back and decided to buy houses and furniture and get back into spending money because they were saving money during the war effort, they went out and went crazy buying exciting cars.
You know, the other thing that always comes to mind when we're talking about this, and you think about the effort that went in by the designers on their drawing boards, what would they do if they'd had a CAD system?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
right.
that would
Well,
be different,
They were
yeah.
excited too because they had been designing tanks and military vehicles, and now they were just free to do what they wanted. And that's what happened. They just came out with some crazy designs and just the most, jet age things, looking forward to the future.
Well, and the other thing was the tricolors, the coral and teal and white,
Yep.
and the yellow and black and white.
Yeah. Yeah, all the odd colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bringing that into the automotive, from fashion too. It's just interiors were just fantastic with the great dashboards. Looked like you were in a fighter jet.
Yeah, my Avanti sure did look like that.
Yeah, it did.
The
Yeah.
Avanti's great. I remember my father. We went down to the Studebaker dealership, and he was going to buy a Studebaker, and there was a beautiful Avanti sitting there on the showroom floor. And of course, we ended up with the Lark 4-door. But I was like, "Oh, Dad, buy the Avanti, please."
Yeah.
Damn,
That
rolling
didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, man. You mentioned a Corvette SS. Are you talking about a real tube frame experimental?
That was a experimental
Yep.
car. It's coming from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. We get a car from them every year.
Beautiful.
And this thing's beautiful.
Yeah.
Zora Dontoff designed it. It was a one-off to one-seater, but it expresses that jet age, go fast, period of time where just, you could let your imagination run wild.
Right.
And we'll have that car there. It's a 1957.
Mhm.
Beautiful car.
How about one of the old Chrysler turbo cars from that
We
area?
couldn't find one this year. A lot of them are in the museums, and a lot of museums won't let them go. Of course, some are out there. Just hard to find those. They're a great car though. What a great design.
Yes. How about some of the Chrysler show cars, the Firebomb and the Ghia-bodied cars?
One of our classes is a limited production class of 1948 to 1963. And we'll be having a 1949 Cadillac, and it's a Coupe de Ville Motorama car.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll have a 58 dual Ghia, which was a great
Yeah,
car,
that's a-
movie
Yeah.
car,
Yeah.
And then my favorite out of the class is 54 Hudson Italia Coupe.
Oh, yeah, with the
And we'll have that.
exhaust ports coming out the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
For stodgy Hudson, that was a great design.
Yeah, it was.
And, of course, you put that in with a Muntz jet convertible and a 54, Kaiser Darren Roadster, and that makes that limited production class real exciting. And we're hoping that that's just going to knock everybody's eyes out.
How many cars do you think you'll have total?
We'll have total about close to 200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Is that normal?
Quality show. We're the oldest show this side of the Mississippi, California area. So we've been around for a while.
Yeah. Buffalo produced the Playboy car. Do you have one of those?
We don't have one of those. I know there's a guy in New York State. We tried to get a hold of him to get one, but weren't too lucky on that.
Ah, okay.
There's a lot of people that have conflicting, timetables, and
Right.
of course cars aren't ready or they're doing another show, and but we have a great selection. No one will be disappointed. They never are.
Yeah.
The thing we hear about this show is it's held in a park here in Cincinnati. It's called Alt Park, and it's just filled with flower beds and beautiful gardens. Unlike a lot of these shows that are on golf courses, I think if you've seen one golf course, you've seen them all, unless you're in Atlanta. But it's a beautiful place, and the biggest thrill we get is when the owners come up to us and say, I'll tell you what, I've shown my car all over the country, but this place is the best place I've ever had to show my car.
Oh, that's
Oh, really?
great.
Yeah, that's good.
That is.
Oh yeah, beautiful set.
So does it take literally both days to see all the cars, or?
No, we're just on Sunday, and you can see them all in one day. We've got a lot of excitement on that day of the show. We have a brunch. We have a craft beer garden, since craft beers are so big right now.
Mhm.
And Cincinnati was a home of beer. There was lots of breweries here back in the day, and a lot of them have come back. So we have a craft beer garden, and then we have an automotive art show, and then we'll have the drive-through ceremony at the end of the day, handing out the awards.
Wonderful. Any special judges?
Well, we do have a couple special judges. We get them from all over the country. We've got, you're in Atlanta, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Ray Schaefer's coming from Atlanta. He is part of the Porsche Experience Center down there, and he'll be one of our judges. And they're from all over the place. We've got a nice lineup of judges, really qualified. A lot of them, this year, of course, with having more American cars being this mid-century modern theme, we have a lot more, judges that are familiar with those cars. So, but we have all other classes too. We have imports. We've got, we have a Japanese Asian class. We were the first concours in the country to have an Asian car class, and this year we'll have, in addition to that, we'll have an Asian tuner class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it'll be exciting
that's
for the youngsters.
Yeah, that's the in stuff right now.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to keep up with what's going on, and we're doing that with this Asian tuner class, and I think it'll be exciting. And of course, next year we're doing 50 years of the 240Z.
Oh, wow.
Mark, I'm going to have to interrupt. We need to take a break right quick.
Sure.
We'll be back with Mark Fisk right after this.
Hi, this is Steve Rinaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. Just talking to you about antique car insurance. I think that if you're looking for the best coverage for your classic car, consider J.C. Taylor Insurance. They've been my insurer for years in this hobby and have the top rating of all of the insurance companies in the hobby. When you get ready for insurance, call J.C. Taylor or visit jctaylor.com on the internet.
My name is Kyle Hayes, a motorsports student at Alfred State College. Every year, Alfred State students compete in the Great Race, which is a cross-country time endurance rally for vintage vehicles. As you can imagine, it's pretty costly. I'm asking for your help. Your donation can make it possible for these students to live their passion and promote the vintage automobile industry. Please visit our site at give.alfredstate.edu and search Great Race to learn more and help us reach our goal. Thank you.
Your auto love and investment demands the best, and for 45 years, Passport Transport has been meeting those demands. From manufacturers to the one-car collectors and all other facets of the auto industry and antique auto hobby. The first and the finest with unequaled service and peace of mind. Passport Transport, your auto transportation company. Contact PassportTransport.com with your need today. Passport Transport.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And welcome back to the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. And we've got Mr. Mark Fisk. We're talking Ohio and the Cincinnati Concours de Elegance coming up shortly. And back to Jim and Steve.
Mark, interesting about the Japanese. Steve, of course, has just mentioned that's a growing thing again.
It is.
You're going to pick up a whole different segment for your audience with that, I'll bet.
Yeah, we are. And then, we want to get the younger people involved in the hobby. And, back in our era, we loved the 55 Chevy. We loved the old Duesenbergs. But today, the young kids, they grew up with their families driving Japanese cars, Toyota Camrys and Nissan Maximas, and now when they look at what they want, they're looking at cars from their past, and that would be the Asian cars.
Right. Yeah.
So that's exciting for us to do that. And of course, when we brought that up with a committee on our car selection committee, when we first started thinking about doing Asian cars years ago, you could have heard the groans a mile away.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true.
God.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
My father did this stuff, and I've told the story many times when AACA changed to the 25-year-old rule.
Yeah.
In the 50s, he and all of his old cronies, I thought the world was coming to an end. I didn't understand at that point what all of the consternation was about, but those people have used cars.
That's right. Used cars.
And it's the things changing. Like the old guys our age, a lot of them they're not street rods, what do they call mod something? Resto
Resto
mod.
mods.
Oh,
yeah.
resto mods, right.
Yeah, that's.
They want the old car body, but they want the new car ride and the new
Yeah,
car
I'd rather
feel.
have a new body, but at
Yeah.
this point, I don't think that's going to happen either.
Well, yeah, everything has changed, and you have to move with the changes. If you want to make people excited and you want to bring in the younger folks in the car hobby.
That's the problem at Steve's age. It's hard to move.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, all of us have that problem. But, you know, and bringing the Asian tuner cars in, that's kind of reflecting back to the 30s or the 40s when, you know, 40s or 30s cars were kind of being a used car, and then younger people were taking them apart and turning them into hot rods.
Hot rods, yeah.
Yep. And that's what this Asian tuner class is about, is these young kids. They're working on these things. It's amazing. You get on Instagram, how busy they are working on this stuff. And so
And
I
it's
think that's going
fast.
to be an exciting class for our show this year.
And that stuff is fast, too.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And of course the movies too, you know, they see those like Fast and Furious, and they get these ideas about how to modify their cars, and they're excited about it, and they're spending the money.
And plus, they bring very cute girls.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
In addition to that, the Asian tuner class, we're doing a survivor class, and that's antique survivors to 1961. So that'll be an interesting, and of course the survivor cars, barn finds are another big area of car collecting these days.
Yeah, very much so.
Yep, because you find a barn find, it brings more than a restored car anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Which is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you spend a lot of money restoring your car, and the guy next to you has a barn find, he wins.
Yeah. Well, it's just, you take a look like that 300 SL Gullwing that Bill Warner found.
Oh yeah, right.
Came out of the garage, and
Yep. That probably brought more excitement to the
did.
show than
Yeah,
the
it
restored
did.
Gullwing.
and then the factory bought it. So
Yeah.
the restoration center.
What does that tell you?
Oh, man.
Well, that's the future of collecting.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also we're going to do 95 years of the MG.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's for me. I've had MGs forever.
You
Is
know,
that right?
Yeah,
yeah. Well, he hasn't had it for 95 years, but he's got
45. I've had my
52 TD,
I've
yeah.
had my TD for 45 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
That was a
beautiful.
great car.
Yeah.
Well, MGs, they were the ones that started the sports car craze in my book. You know,
Absolutely.
As far as Americans.
Yeah.
Well, you
I've
know
had
that
9 MGs.
you know the story that when Curtis LeMay came back from Europe, he brought a TC with, and he
Oh, is that
took
right?
it. He took it to General Motors. He had a good friend. Who was the guy? Was that Harley Earl?
Yeah.
And showed him all we have are Buicks and DeSotos in this country, and that and that's where the Corvette came from.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and
Wow.
when you used to go to the Corvette Museum, the first car on display was a MGTC, and they made no bones about it.
Wow.
That's where it came from.
Well, we're going to have 95 years of it, and I'll tell you what, we've got some great MGs. That's probably our largest class. We had more people excited about the 95 years of MG than, well, this mid-century modern theme was very exciting. You know, when we brought this up to our car selection committee, and they were thinking, well, it's going to be tough finding these cars. You know, it's a certain era that you have to find the exciting ones, just not the four-door Dodge. And it turned out that we had more response over this than we've had about anything other than Porsche and Ferrari. It was
Wow.
amazing.
How does someone not in Cincinnati find out about your Concours?
Well, they can go to our website, and
Okay.
that's ohioconcours.com or cincinnaticoncours.com. And also, they can go to our site, and we have a Pebble Beach raffle. And for $100, we're going to sell 400 tickets. All the money goes to charity. And this will, the person that wins, it'll be for 2. It's a round-trip airfare, car rental, hotel to Pebble Beach during the Pebble Beach show and auctions down there. And you'll have a hotel stay. You'll have access to the R&M Sotheby's auction. You'll also have access to the McCall's Motorwork Revival at the Jet Center, which is a hard ticket to get, and the Quail, and the Rolex Motorsports Reunion, and of course the Pebble Beach Concours Elegance.
So you're
That's
going to,
all included in the winning.
Wow.
Yeah.
That really is
yeah, you're
something.
going to have to raise $250,000 for all that.
I'm telling you, try to get a hotel over there,
Oh, I know.
and that's included.
Yeah.
And it's a great hotel too. It's
Well.
the Porta Hotel and Spa in Monterey. Which
Oh,
is a beautiful
man.
place.
Yeah.
Portola. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that raffle's going on. Like I said, that money will go to our charity.
That's
and they can
$100.
buy a ticket through our website.
It's $100.
It's $100. Only 400 tickets sold. It's better than the regular lottery. Your chances are great.
Yeah, I might even do
You can
that.
bring Jim with you.
Yeah, I might even do that.
I stayed at the Fort Ord Hotel in Monterey for a number of months.
Yeah. You were a
Beautiful
guest
town.
to your uncle.
I was a guest of my uncle. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I always tell people, if you've never been to Monterey, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And the
Those
original
roads out there, the
Fisherman
place,
Wharf.
and then where they hold the show is awesome.
Yeah.
For a golf course, it's right on the water.
Yeah.
Can't go better than that, other
No.
than our show.
No, that's amazing. The tickets, they're online. You just
They're
do
online.
it, put a credit card in, and you're done.
Yep. Bring your friends and your family, and it's a family friendly event. And I'll tell you what, bring the wife. She can go look through the gardens and see the beautiful flowers. All the plants are marked to tell you what species they are. It's a beautiful place.
Mark, do
Really
you
nice.
all have any special for military folks?
You know, I don't think we do. We have a student package where students showing a student ID gets a discount. So we do have that. And of course, you know, it's a weekend event, really. Sunday's the car show, but we have a Friday night gala dinner, and then on Saturday we have a countryside tour, and there's a hangar party at Lunken Airport, which is one of the oldest airports in the country. It's all Art Deco. It's a beautiful building, but this will be held at a hangar on the grounds of the Lunken Airport. Brings in 600 to 700 people, and we have a car show there also with planes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So what are tickets like for an old geezer like Steve?
That's $25.
That's
$30,
all?
depending on when you buy the ticket.
Oh.
Advanced sales always a little cheaper. We give a discount for that, and then that entitles you to the whole day at the show and entrance to the beer garden, the art show, which is great because we have national known automotive artists. There's a pavilion on top of the park, and it was built in the 20s. It's been restored, beautiful place, and that's where we have our art show.
Okay.
And it's just a great setting for an art exhibit.
Yeah, I think you've got a friend of mine, Bob Calizio, probably.
Oh,
be
yeah,
there
sure.
With
Sure.
his beautiful art.
Yeah. Had Bob at the show before.
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice guy.
He
I
is.
used to be in charge of the art show.
Ah.
At one time, I've done everything at this show but cook the food and take the money.
That's next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I got enough to do.
Oh, wow.
But we've also got an honored collector, which we have every year, and that's Joseph and Margie Cassini. And
Yeah.
They're from West Orange, New Jersey.
Right.
He's been to Pebble Beach, one there, and it's got a great collection of cars, and he'll be our featured honored collector this year. So
What's he bringing?
Well, he's going to bring, let's see here, the 1931 Duesenberg Model J Tourster, and he'll bring his 1960 250 GT Pininfarina convertible Ferrari, and he'll bring a 31 Stutz, and he's got a couple other cars he's going to be bringing. He's got
Great.
a Fascini Roadster that was owned by Rudolph Valentino he's bringing. So, you know, for people like us, we know who that is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not me, I don't know.
But
He
he'll
was-
be bringing some great cars. We let them pick what they want to bring.
Yeah,
and-
he
and
played for
we'll
the
have a special
Yankees, this
area where they
Valentino
exhibit their
guy,
cars.
right? Yeah. Did he pitch for the Yankees?
Yeah.
No, I think he was a rapper.
Yeah. Rapper.
Yeah, candy wrapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he had a lot of candy in that
Yeah,
car.
I'm sure.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
that
you.
sounds like a,
He's been on our show before, and he's brought some beautiful cars, and I think he won Best of Show a couple of years back with one of his cars. So he's been a big supporter of our Concours and our charity. So,
Oh, that's
love
great. Do you have a bunch of MGs, and that's about the only way I could say it coming? So are you starting at 29 and going up, or do you have anything that early?
you know, the older MGs are always tough to find. You know,
Yeah.
they're real tough. You know, we're starting probably in the early 50s as far as MGs go for us. I think we've got couple other older ones. Let's see here. I got to remember what we've got. We've got let's see, a couple race cars from the 40s. MGs that'll be in our racing class because we'll also feature some of those. And we do have a racing class, which is fantastic. It's always exciting because we've got the Nissan Heritage Museum down in Nashville, and they'll be bringing some race cars and some other
Really?
cars for our Asian class and our
Wow.
racing class.
Mark,
But I think the oldest MG we've got is like a 1933.
Oh, all right.
That's
Okay.
pretty early.
Yeah.
That's an either P,
32.
P or an M.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got a 32 and a 35 up, from there, and it's going to be exciting. It's probably one of our best classes. There's going to be a lot
Great.
of historical stuff around, and
All right, we're going to take a break, Mark, and we'll come right back, and
All righty.
we're going to pick your brain for more cars.
okay.
All right, thanks.
Hi, my name is Steve Rinaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio, talking to you about antique
yeah.
car insurance. In this hobby
Nice show.
that I've been part of for years, not all insurance companies and insurance coverage is the same.
Yeah, Pebbles,
I
$200
would suggest that you call JC Taylor or visit jctaylor.com to find out some information about some of the best antique car insurance you can get, such as agreed value insurance for your classic car.
Yeah.
Again, when you get ready to insure your classic, antique, or even your street rod, call JC Taylor Insurance or visit jctaylor.com.
45 years of experience is behind the most trusted name in auto transportation. Passport Transport, the first and finest today. That's why Passport Transport is the preferred auto transport for major auto manufacturers, concours, museums, tours, and collectors, and should be your choice from across the state to across the country. When you have the need, go to PassportTransport.com and enjoy the peace of mind referenced experience will give you. Passport Transport.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to America's Web Radio. And now time for the Classic Car Show.
and welcome back to the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. We decided we had to throw in a little music on there and our opening. So we're visiting with a great guest, Mr. Mark Fisk, and we're talking the Cincinnati Concours de Elegance. So we're back.
Yeah. Mark,
You there?
you just, I can't believe the list of cars you have. And let's,
I'm telling you, we're the best kept secret in the United States.
I think so.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
I really
yeah.
do. I think so.
yeah,
Hopefully we've let the secret out of the box today.
I
So
hope
we
so.
Like that. With the collectors, we're not such a secret. They know this show's a quality show, and I mean, we get some of the best cars. It's the people out there that Pebble Beach gets all the love, obviously, because they're the most well-known show. But yeah, I'll tell you what, if you want to see a quality show in the Midwest, it's the Cincinnati Concours. You can't beat it, and for the price, it's not the $300 ticket to get in.
No.
Like I say, it's family friendly. You can afford to bring your family and show them a nice day and in the gardens, and of course, the beautiful cars.
Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, we've talked MGs. What do you got in the way of race cars coming?
Well, the race car class is always interesting for us because we get some stuff from the Indy Museum, of course, and that's
Yeah.
always a good thing. They've been very friendly to us over the years, and we've had a lot of cars out of that. And of course, Cincinnati. People probably don't realize there's a lot of great collectors in Cincinnati, and they have some great cars in this town. It's probably like your town. People don't realize how many great cars are around.
Yeah.
Until they go to a collection and they start looking around and they're like, wow, I didn't know this existed here in our town.
Oh, yeah.
And that happens. So, now this year in our racing class, we've got like a 66 turbo Offie A.J. Watson special. It's a ex-Johnny Rutherford car.
An Indy car.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Wow.
love our Indy cars. That's going to be brought by Robert McConnell, who's a big Indy car collector here in Ohio. He's out of Urbana, and he always brings some of the best Indy cars. He's got a great collection.
Beautiful.
And then, of course, we've got a 63 Corvette Z06 competition car. Not many of those around. That's coming. That's a local car. It's a beautiful car. And then we've got, of course, for the youngsters, we've got a Nissan 1990 300ZX, and it was the pace car for the PPG races, and that's coming from the Heritage Collection, the Nissan Heritage Collection down in Nashville.
Mm.
Yeah, so we get a little bit of everything in that racing class. You know, we'll have a, you know, Dodge, Hemi, dragster, and it just, you know.
You
Chatham
got
Super 7, you know, remember those?
which one?
Chatham Super 7.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we have a friend that has one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he drives it every day on the street.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a neat car.
yeah.
And we just have a little bit of everything. So it's an interesting class.
I like the Indy cars. You know, the only other place you ever see Indy cars at car shows is at Hershey, at the big Hershey meet. That's the only time you ever see them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you like race cars, next year for our 220 show, it's a tribute to Motorsports Bonneville to Monaco.
Wow.
And we are going to have, it's going to be all kinds of classes of racing cars, Can-Am, Indy, dragsters. We're going to have it all. So this is going to be a great show.
You guys probably get a lot of sprinters from that area too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have those dirt track racers. And then with that year, we're going to have the 50 years of the 240Z micro cars and a 75th anniversary to Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a good rounded show,
Yeah.
a little bit of everything for everybody.
You got a guy up the road from you in Brookville that ran 238 miles an hour at Bonneville a few years ago in an
Oh, is that right?
Alpha Spider. Yeah, believe it or not.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It was very windy that day.
Yeah.
And it was blowing down the track, so he did okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, alphas are big. We'll have a few alphas at our show. We, you know, because we have a great sports car class too. So, you know, we cover everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's A to Z in cars, and that's what makes it interesting. There's something for everybody. We go from the antiques, and we even have a class of future classics that we pick, and we think, okay, this car down the road is going to be a classic car, and we'll even, you know, pick the newer stuff just because down the road it's probably going to be something.
What's in that class, out of curiosity?
Well, we got, you know, it's always a Ferrari, you know, of some sort in that class. Got to have that, and you know, Corvettes, and we just, it's you know, Lamborghini, whatever we feel is going to be an interesting car.
I think a Yugo is a good bet.
Yeah, you know, Aston Martins are always great for that class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamborghini's always good, and you know, a Mercedes AMG GTS, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little bit of everything.
Beautiful. Yeah. You're starting to describe Andy Manganero's garage.
Oh, Andy Manganero, he's a great supporter of our show. He's
Isn't
a nice
he?
guy too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's bringing Andy's bringing 3 cars to our show this year.
The Lamborghini 400 GT.
You know, I don't know what Andy's bringing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's not my class. You know, I'm on car selection.
Right.
I was in the mid-century
Okay.
part of it, but
Yeah.
Andy always brings something interesting. He's got a great collection.
He and Tom Stegman.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's great. He's a big supporter. He's one of the original supporters of
Yeah.
our show.
Yeah.
And a great guy. Very, very nice.
You
Tom's
know-
bringing a car. We always get a car from Tom's garage.
Good.
We've talked about this, but one of the things we haven't mentioned at all is when is this?
July
It's
9th,
June
or
9th.
June 9th, I mean.
Yeah, we haven't
Monday.
mentioned it at all. When
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
June 9th, and we're going to have a great weekend and great weather. And
That's next
you know,
weekend.
For 42 years, you know, we started out on Helen Williams' front yard lawn. This show started in 1978,
Wow.
and her friend Bill Rudd had rheumatoid arthritis, and she wanted to get everybody together, have a car show, have them donate some money, and give it to the Arthritis Foundation. That's how it got started.
Beautiful.
Yep, and all these years we've had 4 different locations, and we ended up here at Alt Park in 1996, and been there ever since. And we've got a lot of support from Cincinnati Park Board, and we're appreciative of that. They really do a good job for us over there, and just trim up everything and make the gardens look beautiful for our show.
All right. And you also have food available. I know you got
Absolutely.
a
We
beer
have food
garden.
court area.
Yep.
Got a lot of vendors there with a little bit of everything, and We have that, and then of course our beer garden, and then we have some food stations on the grounds where the cars are displayed. And that's new from last year, and it was a big success. We'll have some little bites to have and take
Sure.
around the grounds.
Sure. Sell some ice cream cones to the little
Yeah.
kids.
Got that too.
Yeah. How about an auction? Is there an auction associated
There
with
isn't,
this?
and we've thought about that. It's just trying to get it into the weekend.
Yeah.
Our weekend's so packed with other events that the auction, we haven't really figured out a way to get it in there, but we'd love to have one in the future.
Yeah. How about like when you go to Amelia Island, they have a ton of automotive related artists and arts and crafts stuff. And
But we do
sales.
have a section there. When you walk into the park, there's a vendor area, and we have interesting displays of newer cars and people doing their crafts and what they bring to the table as far as their automotive skills, and we'll have those guys on display, plus our automotive art show. And so that makes it a little bit more exciting. There's a whole day of stuff to do. I mean, you can't be bored. You have to kick people out of the park at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
They
boy.
just want to stay.
Yeah.
That's good.
What time do you
Yeah.
open the gates?
The gates open at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, the line, and we have off-site parking with shuttle buses that run continuously. So you will park we have Fifth Third Bank as one of our sponsors, and they let us park in their facilities, and then we bus people up to the park because parking's pretty tight up at the park. And we bus them in. It's very convenient, easy. Don't have to worry about your car. Just leave it at the parking site and come right up on the bus. Takes you right back down.
Good.
Beautiful arrangement.
Yeah. Yeah. That's they do that at Amelia too.
They do. And
Yeah.
most,
Everywhere you have to.
anymore, it's hard to park, 1,000 cars when you're showing 200.
Yeah.
And especially in the facilities that are, today like golf courses and a park, it's tough. It wasn't meant to really have a car show, but you have to have a nice facility to show those beautiful cars. That's the way to do it. So you have to bus them in. But I'll tell you what, we've got it down where it's a pleasant experience. People always say, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm here at the park already." We get them up there as quick as we can.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Sure, we're friendly, and we do a lot of things. We service everybody and make sure they have a good time. And a lot of people say it's the friendliest show they've ever been to. We've got a lot of great volunteers, very helpful. You'll feel like you're at home when you're here, and all the vendors and all the exhibitors and all the guests that come always say it's like the most friendly show, and it's easy to navigate. And, people are great. So
That's a
we
good
pride
reputation.
ourselves
That's
on
a
that.
great reputation to have. I'll tell you.
Sure is.
Some of them are so. God, you don't want to go back there.
You're right. And when they've gotten so big and crowded and unfriendly, and it's just like almost a pain to have you there, But for us and our charity, we welcome everybody and make sure they have the best experience ever. And we get a lot of people that come back every year.
Good. Hotel accommodations close by?
There's about 5 or 6 hotels within a half mile of the park.
Okay.
This park is located in Cincinnati, in an urban area.
Right.
So there are places to stay, easy access from the highway. We got 71 and 75
Right.
run through Cincinnati. So 5 minutes to a hotel, and very nice hotels.
Good.
Yep.
Do
And
you?
accommodations are great, and we just have a lot of things going on. It's with a car tour, a countryside tour on Saturday, ending up at the hangar party. That's just a wonderful event too.
Tell us about that.
Well, what we do is we meet in Marymount Square, and it's a smaller area near the park. It's a small little burb. And what we'll do is we'll have a little mini car show there, and then the cars will leave the Marymount Square, and they'll go over to we have a destination usually where the cars will show up, and a light lunch, and then they'll come back, and everybody will meet at the hangar party, which is at Lunken Airport. And that event has grown so much. It's just unbelievable. We have a silent auction of high-end items there, music. Of course, there's planes, and then we have a car show on the tarmac. So we pick cars that come in that are some of the most interesting cars that have been on the tour or that come as guests, and we'll put them on the tarmac. So it's an additional car show.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's food and beverages. it's a wonderful night. And that has grown from a couple hundred people to our capacity of 700.
Wow.
Yep. And I tell you, we could sell 1,000 tickets if we could. That's how exciting
Really?
this
Yeah.
event is.
Yeah. And the tour is only the entrance to the Concours, correct?
No, you can buy that as a separate ticket. It's $35, and you can bring a person with you. That's you and a guest, and it's limited to X amount of cars. I forget the number this year. Maybe it's 60 or 70 cars, but they'll go on the tour, and you can do that off-site, not being part of the show itself.
Okay.
It's a separate event, just like the hangar party is also.
Right.
And that hangar party is more of a party for the general public that just maybe, they can't make it on Sunday, or they're going to do the whole weekend, or they're going to meet some friends for the evening, and they'll just come to the hangar party and meet their friends and have a good time.
Yeah. Was the Lunken Airport the original airport in Cincinnati?
It sure was. That was the first, I think it was the first international airport in the country.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. And then you should see the inside of this place. It is a gem. All
Yeah.
Art Deco, all just beautiful.
Mark, we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Your auto love and investment demands the best, and for 45 years, Passport Transport has been meeting those demands. From manufacturers to the one-car collectors and all other facets of the auto industry and antique auto hobby. The first and the finest with unequaled service and peace of mind. Passport Transport, your auto transportation company. Contact PassportTransport.com with your need today. Passport Transport.
My name is Kyle Hayes, a motorsports student at Alfred State College. Every year, Alfred State students compete in the Great Race, which is a cross-country time endurance rally for vintage vehicles. As you can imagine, it's pretty costly. I'm asking for your help. Your donation can make it possible for these students to live their passion and promote the vintage automobile industry. Please visit our site at give.alfredstate.edu and search Great Race to learn more and help us reach our goal. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Steve Rinaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio, talking to you about antique car insurance. In this hobby that I've been part of for years, not all insurance companies and insurance coverage is the same. I would suggest that you call J.C. Taylor or visit jctaylor.com to find out some information about some of the best antique car insurance you can get, such as agreed value. Insurance for your classic car. Again, when you get ready to insure your classic, antique, or even your street rod, call J.C. Taylor Insurance or visit jctaylor.com.
Whether cruising the strip in a 57 Chevy or taking the family on a vacation in a 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, you need to tune in to Classic Cars with Steve Rinaldo and Jim Weber every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on americaswebradio.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the americasbroadcastnetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Mark.
You back?
Yep. Are you with us?
I'm here.
All
All right,
right.
let me ask you a question. One of the things, and this is what I was involved in a lot when I was on the AACA board, was stuff for the young people. Do you have any special programs for young people going on while this is going on?
We do. We have the Haggerty Youth Judging.
Yes,
And those youngsters will go out and judge some pre-selected cars that we feel are interesting, that children would like to look at. And we have the biggest group of youth judges in the country. Haggerty is one of our supporters, and they're amazed at how many kids we have as youth judges. It's the biggest group in the country of any car show, and they just are thrilled.
It is fun because Tabitha and I were the ones that put that together years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and it is
gosh.
fun. Yeah, it is
What a wonderful thing. I mean, it's getting kids involved, understanding mechanical devices. They don't get that opportunity. People let them sit in the cars and look them over, and they're just so wonderful to these kids. And it's just a thrill to see how excited they are looking at these automobiles.
Yeah, that's something Steve and I really like. It's just our pet peeve is the guy that says, "Don't touch my car."
Don't touch my car.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
And-
totally agree. It's a hands-on thing. Cars are meant to be driven and
Yeah.
loved,
Yeah.
and I think they've become more museum pieces with the prices that have gotten, higher and higher over the years. And now they don't even take them out anymore. A lot of people, they're museum cars, and they just don't get out and get run and have people enjoy them.
When I've done that Haggerty program, the hardest part is getting the owners to be quiet so you can move on to the next car.
Well, everybody's got a story.
I
They
know,
want to
a lot
tell
of
it. I
them.
love that, though. The
Yeah.
story's the best.
Yeah.
Mark, one small name that you haven't mentioned, and I've only owned one in my lifetime, but it's a small company that sort of started the import business in the United States almost, called Volkswagen.
Oh, I'm not familiar. What is it again?
Volkswagen.
Oh, Volkswagen.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
VW.
right. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we have any Volkswagens in the show this year, but we do have them. We had a couple years back. We had the anniversary of the Beetle, and we had Volkswagens there, and of course Porsches. We've had that was last year, and that's almost a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
We get everything.
Tell that to a Porsche owner.
Oh God. Yeah.
Unless you had a 914.
Well,
Which I have, and everybody goes, "Oh, that Volkswagen."
well, yeah, but don't forget the two-piece case 356s
Oh, there you go.
were all Volkswagen components.
Well, another neat thing about this show is, Rookwood Pottery. It's home with Cincinnati, Ohio, and if you're familiar with Rookwood Pottery, it was been around since the 1800s and very famous all over the world. And we have them do our trophies for the show for the
Really?
for
Wow.
our best of show winners. Rookwood does the trophies. They're beautiful, and they're custom done for us with a car on it, and that's given to the best of show and the best of the Esprit de Sport, and we'll hand 2 of those trophies out to the best of each the best of shows for that, and those are all made here in Cincinnati.
That's great.
So we keep it Cincinnati, that's what we try to do.
WKRP.
Yep.
Great station.
Hey, well, the other thing there is the Flying Pigs Marathon.
That's a big event.
Yeah.
It's in the top 5 of
Yep.
any major
Yep.
event, and I'll tell you what, they do a good job with it. Cincinnati, there's a lot of stuff happening in this town. When someone comes from out of town for the show, they're amazed at how much there is to do here. It's kind of a hidden gem.
It is.
In the Midwest. We've got the downtown area. Of course, there's over the Rhine, which is an old German area that was, built in the 1800s, and that's all redone now with restaurants and shopping. And then, of course, downtown Cincinnati has one of the best Art Deco hotels in the country. It's the Netherland Hilton Hotel, and it was designed by the gentleman that did the Radio City Music Hall.
Oh.
Oh, really?
And so in interiors, you will be amazed at how beautiful it is when people come into town. I say, "Oh, have a drink down at the Netherland Hilton Hotel," and they go, "I don't want to go to a hotel and have a drink." When they get there, they just go, "Oh my gosh, how stunning is it?" It was given the best Art Deco restoration when it was redone in the 80s.
Wow. You used
it's
to have
beautiful, and there's Rookwood tiles in there from Rookwood Pottery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a 5-star restaurant, La Maisonette. Is
Yep,
that still there?
Missed that.
Yeah.
But we have some other great restaurants. Jean Robert was one of the chefs, the last chef at Maisonette, and he's got 3 restaurants or 4 restaurants in Cincinnati.
Great.
So there's some great food here, and of course Skyline Chili.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that'll just cauterize your entire intestinal
I
tract.
only eat at Irish
3-4
restaurants.
years of your life. It gives you that kind of energy. Yep, and we have, of course, the Grater's ice cream and Aglamisi's ice cream
Yeah.
too.
How about the Montgomery Inn? They used to sell dinosaur ribs, if I remember.
Sure, they still do.
Do they?
It's good old Cincinnati. It hasn't changed that
Oh,
part.
that's great.
Still got Montgomery Inn. There's 2 of them. There's one downtown. There's one out in Montgomery,
Yep.
which is a suburb of Cincinnati.
Yep.
So you can come over here and have your Skyline, your Montgomery Inn, and your happy camper.
Oh,
and your
well,
Graters.
I'm not sure after I've had Skyline chili. I must have gotten the hot stuff.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had a guy come in from Washington, D.C. one time, and he hadn't been in Cincinnati for 20 years. And I said, well, let me take you to dinner. And he said, I want to go to Skyline.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take you there. The guy ate more food than any human. He had 3 cheese conies. He had 2 giant plates of Skyline.
Oh,
and then he goes, is there Grater still around? I'm like, yeah, he had a 3-scoop ice cream cone.
Well, he had to have that to kill the pain.
I was telling you, the guy was a skinny little guy, and I couldn't believe it. I go, where are you putting this? You know, but he just said, when I was coming to Cincinnati, I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So there's a
we're
lot
going
of
for
things. There's a lot of things to do there.
There is.
Yeah, make a week out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a great weekend and week out of it. Have a staycation. A lot of Cincinnatians stay in town just to see their city. Got a lot of great museums. We have the Art Museum in Mount Adams, and of course, there's the Contemporary Arts Center downtown. There's just a lot to see. We have the Union Terminal, which they just restored. It was the biggest train station at the time, half dome in the world.
Wow.
It's beautiful. When you walk in, it's just a half dome. You can't believe how big it is, and all hand done tiles all over the walls of things that went on in Cincinnati at manufacturing, like the Baldwin Piano Company and all of GE and all these companies, and it's from the 30s, so it's all Art Deco.
Yeah,
beautiful place. They've just redone it. It's just gorgeous.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So just to come to the show and see all that and visit Cincinnati, it's a good time, and the show is going to be great.
I'm sure. It sounds wonderful. We were just talking about it. Anyway, we haven't got a lot of time left, so why don't you, just go over everything about your show, when, where, how to get a hold of it, how to find out stuff.
Go to ohioconcours.com or cincinnaticoncours.com for all the information on the show. And that Pebble Beach raffle, you can buy a ticket right on our website. And, of course, you can buy tickets to the car show on Sunday on the website. I know the Friday night event, I think, is possibly sold out, and maybe the hangar party is getting close to being sold out. But you could buy those tickets online. So that's ohioconcours.com, and all the money goes to juvenile arthritis here locally in the Cincinnati area. So, we want people to enjoy the show, and of course it goes to a great cause. Just
excellent.
A wonderful cause.
And it's next Sunday, July 9th.
Yeah.
Or June 9th, I mean.
Yeah,
the other June.
All weekend, not just Sunday.
One with a J.
Yeah.
But I hope to have you guys up here.
Well,
come see the show.
Some year we've got prior commitment here in Atlanta that weekend. We've got British Car Day is here. And,
you got to love that, being an MG owner.
Well, Steve is. I'm not. I own some Italian cars, so we'll just leave
you have
it there.
These big arguments with each other all the time.
No. I just kind of hide in the corner.
Well, the Italians don't start and the British leak oil, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you guys are probably fighting over whose car's going to break down first.
Well, it's fun. Yeah, and the thing, of course, here is this was such a huge British car market in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. Well, the importer distributor out of West Palm Beach did an incredible job called Ship and Shore. And they just sold the daylights out of,
even for back then, there was 4 British car dealerships here.
Yeah.
Wow, so there's a lot of people there that are club-wise and good, very active.
Yeah, they get 200 British cars. There'll be 200 at British Car Day.
That's nice. Well, I love British cars. Well, I owned 9 MGs, so I know the pain. I can tell you from there, I've had 1 Alpha, 2 Alphas. The other one never ran, but the other one did. So, I was half happy.
That's why you had to have 2.
Yeah.
That's right. As a backup.
Oh, that's great.
But, it's just nice talking to you guys. And I hope people will go to our website, ohioconcours.com and cincinnaticoncours.com, and take a look at what we're doing. We've got pictures of all our past winners on there, a lot of archival material, and they can see the quality of cars that we've had at the show in the past, and they'll know it's a great event to come to.
By the way, Mark, I want to throw out that this show will be archived. Probably Brett will do it either this afternoon or tomorrow, and it'll be up on our website and then all over any of the popular podcast apps. We belong to them, and so And you all are welcome to take the broadcast, download it, and put it on your website if you'd
Oh, we
like
would
to.
be happy to do that. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's nice talking to you guys. I listen to some of your shows, and they're really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
you're doing. We got to keep the car culture alive.
Well, and we've got to bring the younger people in, and you're doing
do.
it with the Japanese cars. That's
I agree.
fabulous.
You know, that's the future of it. I would hate to see a whole show of Japanese cars, but I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No,
But to get kids excited, and if that's what it's going to take to do it, I'm all for it.
great.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
All right, Steve, Jim, take care.
You too.
Okay.
We'll see you on the road.
I hope
Wednesday.
so. Okay.
All righty.
Take care. Bye.
All right.
45 years of experience is behind the most trusted name in auto transportation. Passport Transport, the first and finest today. That's why Passport Transport is the preferred auto transport for major auto manufacturers, concours, museums, tours, and collectors, and should be your choice from across the state to across the country. When you have the need, go to PassportTransport.com and enjoy the peace of mind referenced experience will give you. Passport Transport.
Hi, this is Steve Rinaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. Just talking to you about antique car insurance. I think that if you're